everybody, Brandon Scheid here with Slingshot Sports, and today we're talking about surf straps, more specifically the brand new 2020 surf strap. Now, if you're familiar with our surf strap product, one of the biggest things you're gonna notice this year is the wider hole spacing here. Not only does this allow this strap to be used on almost any hole spacing on any kite surf board or foil board, meaning it's a universal strap, it also works seamlessly with Slingshot's new rear mount hole pattern. And the reason why we have this new insert pack in the tail is so that you can put your back foot directly over your fins, and that's gonna give you the most drive and control in your turns, and also give you a powerful snap off the top. So again, we have a wider hole pattern to accommodate any kite surf, foil surf, wing surf board in the market, as well as it works with our new hole system integrated to allow you to shred the best that you possibly can on our kite surf boards. So what we're gonna need to install these on our boards is we're gonna need the parts included. So that's one surf strap or two surf straps, depending on how many you're gonna install. You're also gonna need the hardware pack that it came with, which includes 2 washers and 4 25mm bolts, and 1 number 3 Phillips screwdriver. Just a few simple steps, you can get this thing ready to shred. So the first step that you wanna do is actually you're gonna wanna set the board down on the ground and try to find your comfortable stance on the board. Maybe you take it out in the water and ride it and note where your feet are, or you can set it down on the ground. What you're looking for is about a shoulder width stance where you're really comfortable and your foot is far enough over the back fin set in order to engage those fin sets for deep, strong bottom turns. I've already done this and I know where I want these insert packs lined up. So I'm gonna go ahead and start the assembly procedure in those insert packs. On this particular board, the Tyrant, I have my single inline inserts up here in the front, and I have my spaced out inserts back here. Again, the reason why these are spaced out is to leave accommodation for the fin box as well as the insert pack so that you can stand directly over the fins. And we're gonna start up here with the inline insert installation. I like to give it a little bending just to kind of pre-curve it a little bit to help it bend into shape. You can bend these tabs up so that you get it a little bit into your pre-curved shape. I'm gonna open my hardware pack, dumping out the contents. What I'm gonna need are 2 washers, and you can see they have multi-holes to adapt to all the different hole patterns. And because I'm inline, I'm only gonna need 2 of my 25mm screws. I'm gonna set the other 2 aside. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my screw and I'm gonna push it through the center hole on my washer. And that's the hole you're gonna wanna use for your inline insert spacing. And I'm gonna do both of them. Next step I wanna do is open up the neoprene here and take a look at what's going on in here. You can see I have 2 different layers. I have this layer down here, which actually is the adjustment layer that allows this strap to open and close. And then I have the webbing layer, and the webbing layer is what gives us the security to hold this strap to the board. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna slide the washer and screw underneath the neoprene sheath, and that just covers up the screw head. And I'm gonna push the screw through webbing layer in order to get the screw nice and tight. And then I'm gonna take the adjustment layer and I'm gonna push the screw through that layer as well. So what I should end up with is I should end up with my strap. It has my screw and washer underneath the neoprene. Screw goes through both layers here, and it is sticking out on the bottom so that I can be ready to install it. I'm gonna go ahead and repeat the same process on the other side. I'm gonna take my washer, I'm gonna slide it underneath the neoprene sleeve. I'm gonna push the screw through the center hole in the webbing, and then the center hole in the adjustment layer. Again, now I have it through both layers, I have the screws sticking out, and now I can go ahead and install my strap. Now, because these straps are unidirectional, meaning you can ride them both ways, it's not important that you install it one way or the other. I would just recommend installing the logo so that you can read it while you're riding your board. That's probably the easiest way to do it. So go ahead and pull back the neoprene cover so that you expose the Phillips head screw. Grab your number 3 screwdriver, and I like to use the screwdriver to help push the insert, or push the screw down into the insert pack. And what I wanna do is just gently tighten this down. Not all the way, because I wanna leave the ability for this strap to adjust so that I can make sure I get good alignment on my second screw. Again, I'm gonna pull back my webbing cover. I'm gonna pre-curve my strap up, and I'm gonna set the screw on top of the insert I'm trying to use. And then with my number 3, I'm just gonna gently tighten this down until it's nice and snug. Now you don't wanna over tighten these. These are not threaded inserts, so you can over tighten them and do damage to the board. So just make sure that you tighten them down snug, that they hold the foot strap on, but not so hard that they're augering themselves deep into the board. And now you can see I have my front foot strap in. Really easy strap to adjust by simply lifting up this piece of webbing out of the flap here. I can go ahead and cinch it down, get it nice and tight, and then by hitting the button below this arrow, I could lift the strap up, open it up for my big booty foot if I need to, put my foot in, and then tighten it down for comfort. And again, that's the assembly for the inline insert strap. Slide this board over. Moving towards the back of the board here, you see we have a couple different insert spacings. We have a 1-inch insert spacing and a 2-inch insert spacing. And those spacings are gonna align with the hole pattern on the washers included in the kit. So for this rear mounting, I'm gonna go ahead and again, dump out the contents of my hardware pack, and you're gonna see I have 2 washers, one of which is gonna line up on these outer holes here, and one that is gonna line up on the outermost holes here. So I'm gonna have an asymmetrical back and front, and we need to remember that when we're installing our strap. I found with a wider strap placement, it's often easier to slide the washer in by itself and then install the screws. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna slide the washer under the neoprene sleeve, and I'm gonna lift that up, grab one of my 25mm screw, and I'm going to push it again through the webbing layer. And it can be a little bit tricky as these are soft goods, so they move around a lot. So just take your time, make sure you're pushing it through the proper hole in the hole pattern, and then go around here, take your other screw, making sure everything's aligned, and push that screw through the washer and through the webbing layer. So once I have both my screws through my webbing layer, I can go ahead and push it through what I like to call the adjustment layer. Again, this layer is so that you can adjust the tightness of the strap. The other one is more for holding the strap together and holding it down to your board. Now, you notice I did the widest setting here on this side of the strap, which means this one is going to be the back strap because it's gonna align with the widest setting insert holes here on the board. And so on this front one, I'm gonna need to use the slightly more inner holes. So again, I'm gonna take my washer, I'm gonna slide it under the neoprene sleeve, I'm gonna grab my screw, push it through the washer and the webbing. Once I have that through there, I'm gonna push both of them through the adjustment layer. And again, now you can see I have my strap ready to be installed. I have my 2 wide screws back here, and I have my 2 slightly narrower screws up here, which align with my front inserts and my rear inserts. So now I can go ahead and flip my strap over, align it with my holes that I decided were good for my stance, and I can start to screw in the screws. Just a gentle pressure will work. Again, these are not threaded inserts, and so you can over tighten them. So just gently bring them down to snug. And just like we did on the front strap, you wanna make sure that you leave this one a little bit loose so that you can align this back one perfectly and get it nice and tight. Get everything lined up and then start slowly screwing your screw in. You can see it does take a tiny bit of adjustment, as again, these are soft goods, so they're not rigid. You take a little bit of fiddling with to get everything to line up perfect. The biggest thing you want to watch out for at this stage is that you don't tighten the screw down with the neoprene cover underneath it. So you want to make sure once you have the screw going, you want to lift that neoprene layer out so that the screw doesn't pinch the neoprene layer and cause any damage to that layer. Again, I'm going to come through here and tighten till it's snug. Come over to this one, tighten that down till it's snug. And then because I left these a little loose for easy installation, I just want to come back and tighten these front ones down until they're snug. And now you see I have my strap fully installed both front and back. Again, extremely easy to adjust if I need to. Push on the tab here under the arrow. I can open my strap up. And then when I get on the water, I can grab this, pull it down tight, get it comfortable, tuck it out of the way. All right, so now I have both my straps installed. I have them adjusted to where I like. As you can see, I have them lined up with where I wanted my foot position to be. And now this board is ready to go out on the water and absolutely destroy the waves.